So, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our online class. So, in today's lesson, we are going to study about our Hangout 5 in our first session. Today is Wednesday, December 30th, 2020. So, here is a reading. It is from our workbook, page 28. So, our title of the reading today is about getting the news. Okay, so before we getting started, our reading today, so teacher would like use a question. How did you get the news today? So people get the news today by watching from the internet, Facebook, YouTube, or any social media, right? But today, now we are going to study about the pastime that people used to listen to the news or get the news. Okay, so now we are going to getting started with our part A. Part A is listen and read, track 15. Okay, everyone. So as what you can see in the picture, do you know what are they? Yeah. So the first picture is what do we call it, everyone? Can you guess what is it? So this is what we call the printing press. So usually the printing press is the kind of device that you can print out any kind of document or pictures, right? So this one, the printing press is also used to print out the newspaper as well, right? Okay, next picture is what you see is it is about the old radio. Yeah, this is what we call old radio. So right now, this kind of radio is no longer available to use anymore, right? Because it's the kind of old generation, and right now we have many types of the radios that is really updated, right? Okay, in our next picture is yeah, this is stone, right? But as what you can see the letters on the stone as well, right? So this is what we call the stone tablets. The stone tablet is not the smart tablet that people using right now, okay? This one is also the kind of stone tablet as well. Okay, everyone, so now let's get it started. Listen to our track 15 together.
A. Listen and read. Getting the news. Many people like to read the news. We like to know what's happening in our world. Today, we can just look on the internet. But it wasn't always like this. It used to be difficult to tell people the news. In ancient Rome, the government used to chisel stone tablets with important news. It was slow, and many people couldn't read. They used to go to the city center to hear someone read the news. Around 1440 in Germany, Johannes Gutenberg made a printing press. It was used to print things on paper, including the news. At first, newspapers were not very popular, but by the 1700s, they were the main way for people to get news. In the 1920s, people started getting the news from the radio. Then in 1930, the first TV news broadcast in the U.S. was hosted. Since then, television has been a popular way to receive news. Now you can read and watch the news on the internet. It's the fastest way to learn about what's happening in the world. Many people still watch the news on TV and read newspapers, though. How do you like to get the news?
Okay, everyone. So after you listen to our track 15, so what do you think about our reading, everyone? Yes, so to make sure that you can get information from our reading, teacher will read for you once again, and you can read along with me. Okay, so I will read. When I finish one paragraph, I will do the explanation to you. Okay. Yes. So now let's start. Many people like to read the news. We like to know what's happening in our world. Today, we can just look on the internet, but it wasn't always like this. Okay, just like the way that people getting the news from the world right now is they using the internet, right? So as we know that people have smartphone, they have their own tablet, their own computer, so they can access to the internet, and then they can also watch the news or also listen to the news as well, right? Okay, this is about the way that people doing right now. Okay, it used to be difficult to tell people the news in ancient Rome. So what is ancient Rome, everyone? So ancient Rome is the time in the past time of the ancient Roman, right? Okay, so in ancient Rome, the government used to chisel stone tablet with the important news. What does it mean, everyone, the word chisel? So if you say chisel stone, it means like you are trying to use the sharp knife or the sharp thing to scratch the stone in order to make it having the letters. Okay, as what you can see in our previous picture. So this is what we call a tablet stone, which people in the uh, ancient Rome times they try to chisel it, right? Okay, so of course, the government used to chisel stone tables with important news. It was slow and many people couldn't read. They used to go to the city center to hear someone read the news. Okay, it means like even they try so hard to chisel the stone, but actually the letter is not really clear enough to see. It's not able to see well, right? So that's why they also had other person to read out the news for people at that time, right? Okay, now let's move to our next slide is around 1440 in Germany. Johannes Gutenberg made a printing press. It was used to print things on paper, including the news. At first, newspapers were not very popular, but by the 1700s, they were the main way for people to get news. Okay, so as we know that the printing press was invented in 1440 in Germany by Johannes Gutenberg. So Johannes Gutenberg is the German. So he made a printing press at those time because we know that people want to get the news. So a person or also the inventor also try hard to make the printing press in order to print any document or especially the newspaper for people to read every day, right? Okay, so at those time it was used to print things on paper, like what I told you, such as picture, newspaper, or any documents, right? Okay, this is about the way that a German people they try so hard in 1440 in order to make a printing press. Okay, but by the 1700s, they were the main way for people to get news. So it means like by 1700s, the printing press is really popular. So many companies they try to make the printing press. Okay, right. Okay, now let's move to our next paragraph is in the 1920s, people started getting the news from the radio. So in 1920, the way the people started getting the news is from the radio. So for the newspaper, they still read it, but actually we also have a new updated from the scientists. They make the radio for people to listen to the podcast, right? Then in 1930, the first TV news broadcast in the US was hosted. Since then, television has been a popular way to receive news. Okay, so these are about the past time that people use the printing press, they use the radio, and they also use the television in order to get the news from the world, right? But right now, do you think people still use the radio or the television or the newspaper, everyone? I think it's not really popular, right? As we know that right now we are in the 21st century, so everything's are updated. So people use the smartphone, smart device to get the news from the internet, right? Okay, now you can read and watch the news on the internet. It's the fastest way to learn about what's happening in the world. Many people still watch the news on TV and read newspaper though. How do you like to get the news? Okay, so we have a question. How do you like to get news? Yeah, so you can answer by yourself. It depends on you. Okay, so I just want to tell you the way that people can get the news. They can get from the internet. They can get from the television, the radio, the newspaper, the people as well, right? Okay, this is the way that people get the news. Okay, everyone, so now let's move on to our next slide. It is about part B. Answer the questions, use the words in the box. Okay, so we have the word on the radio, from stone tablets, from the internet, the printing press. Okay, make sure that you understand four of these words. Okay, like first one, the radio, the stone tablets, which I showed you in our previous slide, and the internet, the printing press. Okay, right. So now let's try to answer about our question together. Number one, where could ancient people get the news? So the ancient people can get news from stone tablets. Okay, so actually at those time people try hard to chisel the stone, right? Okay. Number two, what made newspaper possible? Okay, what made newspaper possible? Okay, something that made newspaper possible is the printing press. Okay, they use the printing press in order to print or to yes to print out the newspaper. So number three, everyone, how did people listen to the news? Yeah, people can listen to the news from the or on the radio, right? And last one is people can watch the news from the internet today, right? Okay, that's it, everyone. So today we have learned so far from our reading, which is about getting the news from the past time and to the present time, right? Okay, everyone. So thanks for watching. See you in our second video.